It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Tuesday, the 24th of September. I'm Michael Groff. There's no euphemisms or way to sugarcoat this. It will be very hot. More temperature records falling by the wayside from tomorrow all the way through the weekend. And even into next week, temperatures expected to remain well above seasonal averages. And I know you're asking, when are we finally going to get some fall-like weather? When are we done with this summer that seems to just never want to end? When can we get some rainfall? Another great question. I love that you guys have so many questions, and I'd love to be able to give you those answers. We're going to try and do that as we dive on in and discuss. Plus, we'll take a look at what's going on in the tropics as well. But first, here's that almanac from yesterday. Yeah, 105 degrees was the afternoon high, 77 the morning low, 98 and 76 are the averages for this time of year. That makes it 121 days now with a high temperature at or above 100 for the year. Actually, that's not an accurate graphic anymore. It's now 122 days because as we look outside here at 12:40 p.m., sunny sky, 102 degrees at Sky Harbor. And it is as dry as British humor out there. 27 is the dew point, relative humidity 7%. The winds are light, the barometer is falling. All right, water vapor satellite view shows you why it's just so darn dry here over the southwest. High pressure's in control. Now, there is that spin in the clouds off the California coast. You're saying, what the heck's that, Mike? Well, that is an upper low, but high pressure is going to preclude that from impacting us in any meaningful way. A little bit of moisture may make its way into northern Mexico, but no sign of any rain around here anytime soon, and not with this kind of blocking pattern that we have developing across the country. The watch warning map, obviously, things are getting interesting over the eastern Gulf of Mexico now that we have a tropical storm on the board. Helene has formed, and it is expected to intensify into a hurricane, and as a result, hurricane warnings are posted for the waters of the eastern Gulf and, of course, the Florida Panhandle and all the way down the west coast of Florida. Various tropical storm and hurricane watches, advisories there, flood watches, storm surge watches, as this is going to be moving northward. And within about 48 hours or so, 48 to 54 hours from now, that should be making landfall up there on the Florida Panhandle, kind of toward the Big Bend region. Of course, we'll talk about that in just a moment. We also have a severe thunderstorm watch for parts of Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. And for us here in Maricopa County, specifically in the Phoenix area, an excessive heat warning is in effect. Our old summertime friend, the excessive heat warning in effect from 10 a.m. tomorrow through 8 p.m. Sunday. 5 days of heat. Aren't we lucky? And really, it's not 5 days of heat. I mean, that's the extreme heat. I mean, it's hot today, and it'll be hot all the way through next week. So at least 7 to 10 more days of excess of heat. 5 of those at least classified as excessive heat. Whatever. Excessive, however you want to call it, it's just going to be downright hot. All right, the convective outlook. We've got the risk of severe storms, obviously, with our severe thunderstorm watch against some of those same areas. Also are parts of Oklahoma and Texas, the Red River Valley there. All right, here's the latest on the tropics. Out there in the eastern Atlantic, there's a wave that's off the African coast, and that does have a pretty good chance to develop. In the short term, in the next 2 days, a 40% chance, much higher chance over the next 5 days. It is likely to gain latitude, and that should not be a threat to land. Of course, we have to watch it. But what we're more concerned about is Tropical Storm Helene. It is now on the board, and it's starting to get a little bit better organized here. And this is expected to become a hurricane at some point in the next 12 to 18 hours and should intensify fairly quickly as it moves up into the eastern Gulf. Now, it will be encountering some shear, but the Hurricane Center still believes this is likely to become a major hurricane, and then that means at least Category 3 intensity or higher. Max sustained winds at least 115 miles per hour or higher as it comes ashore, as it makes landfall east of Panama City. Now, the cone of uncertainty is actually fairly narrow for this system. The Hurricane Center is fairly confident roughly where this will make landfall. Now, technically, Panama City is in the cone of uncertainty, but they're expected to be over on the good side. If you're over there at Fort Walton Beach, Destin, Mexico Beach, Panama City, you are likely going to be on what we call the good side of the hurricane, the offshore side. Yes, it will be windy. Yes, you will see some tropical storm, maybe even hurricane force winds, but the storm surge, you won't have the same impacts that they're going to have along and east of the circulation center. That's what we call the bad side, and that's places like Cedar Key all the way down to Tampa Bay. Yes, Tampa Bay will not get direct landfall from this, but still the potential of heavy rain, some inundation, lowland inundation possible. Again, all the way down to maybe Venice, Tampa Bay, Newport Richey, and a few isolated tornadoes. And again, along and east of that circulation center. That's going to go all the way up. That's Tallahassee. That's South Georgia. Obviously, the threat for tropical storm and hurricane conditions exists there. This is the intensity guidance. This is always the hardest part of forecasting tropical cyclones. You've got a couple that still, or a few that leave this as a tropical storm, but I think those are quickly becoming outlier solutions. Most of the intensity guidance has this as a Category 2 or 3 hurricane. There are a couple of models that bring it all the way up to Category 4, just beneath Category 5. Some of you think, well, this kind of has that look of a Hurricane Michael from a few years ago. Could get to that intensity. You always have to prepare for the worst case scenario. But I would say more than likely this at least becomes a Category 3 storm. And so if you're out there, you're on in the Florida Panhandle, mainly east of Panama City. You're over towards Cedar Key. You're in Tallahassee. Take these hurricane preparedness. Take it all seriously. Do what you need to do. If you feel you need to evacuate, do that. I'm not here to tell you exactly what you should or should not do, but you know what the risks are, and you'll make your plans accordingly. But the information is there for you. And again, always plan for the worst case scenario whenever you're looking at these hurricane forecasts. So I'd plan for a Category 4. If it turns out not to be that way, well, then you could say, damn you, Mike, you didn't know what you were talking about. Once again, you got it wrong. Well, and you know what? I'd be more than happy to be wrong about that. All right. Now, as for tropical storms, hurricanes, rain, anything around here, this is the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Tuesday morning of next week. And rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, nothing. Now, monsoon season officially runs through September 30th based on the updated definition of the monsoon season from about 2008. But look, the monsoon season's been over with for weeks. We're not going to see another drop of rain the rest of this month and probably for the first week of October either. And we're going to talk about why that is and what's going on with this weather pattern in more detail. To do that, let's check the models. Here we go. It's the GFS. It is the 12Z run, and it's valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, you've got that upper low that's over Missouri. That's an interesting feature because that is going to be what helps to draw Helene northward through the eastern Gulf. But it also may be what helps to minimize, or I don't want to use the word minimize, but mitigate some of its strength, potentially keeping it from becoming as strong as it otherwise would. And also, it may start to absorb the system. You may see sort of a Fujiwara effect with those two systems kind of rotating around each other, which is another interesting thing. Now, what does that mean for us? Well, it means nothing. I mean, for us, we're kind of stuck in this blocked pattern, okay? High pressure is going to just sit out here over the west, intensify. We're going to be under this unusually strong ridge of high pressure near record intensity. And what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, sunny, hot, 103 to 107, the afternoon high. There's an upper low off the Southern California coast, but that means nothing for us. Very dry air will be in place. Tonight, clear sky, at least with the dry air. We do cool off. Lows will be in the 70s to near 80 degrees. Of course, having much longer nights now really helps. We've lost about 2 hours, 18 minutes off of our length of day. So that's good. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be slowing down the heat for tomorrow, though. With high pressure right on top of us, we are sunny and very hot, highs 106 to 110. And that's where our excessive heat warning begins. If you think that's bad, here's Thursday and here's Friday. The maps change, the weather doesn't. 107 to 111, same deal Saturday. 107 to 111. We might see temperatures drop a degree or two on Saturday, but that's going to be about it. It's just going to be hot. It's dry. Overnight lows will be in the 70s to low 80s during this time. Sunday, it's still sunny and hot with highs close to 110. Again, we might hold off. We might be, somewhere around 105 to 109, but whatever. It's just going to be absolutely scorching. More records falling by the wayside. Record heat. Keeping in mind, up until now, the latest we've ever had a high temperature on record at or above 110 degrees in Phoenix was September the 19th. We're going to shatter that this weekend. So obviously, at least 3, 4, maybe 5 days of record heat. And maybe more than that, because here's Monday. High pressure is still around. Temperatures, again, maybe around 104 to 108, but that would still be good enough for a record. Here is a week from today, Tuesday, the 1st of October. Yeah, October, that's the month where it really cools off, right? Yeah, about that. High pressure still around. Upper heights, 591 decameters. So, yeah, we're still hot. I mean, highs would still be above 105 degrees in this scenario. Going out 10 days. This is Thursday, the 3rd of October. And I tell you, this is a really peculiar pattern. This is one, you just don't see this very often. This is a very highly amplified, highly blocked pattern with a deep upper low over the eastern half of the country. You've got this ridge here, and you've got sort of a Rex block that's developing out there over the eastern Pacific Ocean with strong ridging all the way up into the Bering Sea and into eastern Russia. Below that, you've got a very anomalous deep low. And these features just kind of sit there if the GFS verifies. And boy, would we just be sizzling hot. It is not inconceivable in a pattern like this. We could be close to 110 degrees in October. Something I never thought I would say here. We'll be very close to it if, and that's a big, big if, this verifies. Let me look at the European at the same time. European is not that dissimilar. Okay, the features are a little bit further off here. You've got the upper low that's kind of sitting up there toward the coast of Maine or over the Canadian Maritimes, somewhere over there. You've got another upper low that's closer to the Pacific Northwest coast, more of a southwesterly flow here, but heights are still above average. So while it wouldn't be quite as hot as in the GFS scenario, it would still be hot. It would still have temperatures probably above 100 degrees. Now let me show you another. This is the latest model that we have, or one of our newer models. This is the European AI. This has got artificial intelligence put into it, and this has actually been a very interesting model. It's performed very well. And let's hope it does. Let's hope this is the correct model here, the correct solution. If it is, we've got troughing that's north of the state. Now, this wouldn't bring us rain, but what it is doing is lowering the upper heights, and temperatures would be probably down in the mid-90s or so, if this is correct. So, and again, yes, it would still be dry, but at least temperatures would be closer to where you'd expect in early October, low, maybe mid-90s. All right, let's look at rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble. This is out through the 8th of October, and again, it's dry. There's not much hope for precipitation. Yeah, you've got a few models of some of the members that start to introduce rain out there beyond 10 days, but nothing to worry about there. The European ensemble, nothing. Temperatures off the national blend of models, just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Again, I've run out of superlatives to describe it at this point. The summer that never ends just rolls on for the rest of the month. Now, as we get into October, yes, we're still in the triple digits if the national blend of models solution verifies. So again, records, and more records. All right, that's it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. Maybe we'll just change this video title, change the name of this entire channel or this entire video series to be Bad News with Mike. Anyway, that's it for today. If you enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, even if you don't like what I'm telling you, but you are still a weather geek and you enjoy what we do here, then click that thanks icon below the video, make those monetary contributions to us. And you can also donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the email address, or the PayPal address. That's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name. It's called Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out all of Michelle's related links down there in the description. You know what to do. You check out everything Michelle related. That's a break from the heat, that's for sure. And or you can check out our streaming station. That's available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun over there. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Tuesday.